Viewers, a priest presides in a temple. A pastor presides over a congregation in a church, and an imam conducts prayers in a mosque. But in South Kashmir, you won't believe this. God's work has been outsourced to gun-wielding Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorists who have pledged to wipe out minorities from other faiths, including Hindus, in their pursuit to establish a pan-Islamic state cutting across the Islamic crescent, including Kashmir. Yes, viewers, to the right of your screens are Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorists who are conducting the entire service, so to speak. Yes, I want you to watch this video tonight and think about the message that is being sent. Now, Times Now has unearthed this footage of a mosque in Kashmir that suggests that in Kashmir today there is space for hate. Not any other denomination, not even Hindus. This is the reality. The Lashkar commander heard preaching hate to the gathering, and then, viewers, a message is sent out to the congregation to support jihad against India. The gathering at the mosque rises up in support and agrees to fund the jihad. Donations are being made right in the front of a Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorist, not one but two. And there is also, of course, the imam. And you can see that man holding up a pistol inside a mosque, a place of worship. This is desecration. And I want you to listen to the words that are used, viewers, by this terrorist to this entire gathering of the faithful. Listen to what is being said, the demands that are being made, the poison that is being spread and spewed, and how it is finding willing takers. Listen to this.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Did you hear that, viewers? Chilling, absolutely, isn't it? Absolutely chilling. Now, there are many people who will say, look, it's an undated video. It's a video that belongs to the past. Why are you making such a big deal? Well, it's undated, viewers. And highly placed sources have told Times Now that it doesn't belong to the very far past. It's the recent past. And viewers, if you think that this is an exception, then think again. Times Now has accessed another video, this time from the heart of Srinagar's Jamia Masjid. Yes, this is the same mosque in which the most favored icon of the liberal intelligentsia, Mirwais Umar Farooq, preaches. In this mosque, flag-bearing supporters of the dreaded ISIS are chanting slogans inciting people to support terrorist Zakir Musa, who had vowed to replace India's secular constitution and establish an Islamic caliphate. He has pledged his life to the eradication of multiculturalism, of tolerance, and replace it with a rigid view of Islam that is practiced by the ISIS. And we know what ISIS has done to other religions and the followers of those religions. Watch this second video. This is from just a few days ago, viewers. This is in the heart of Srinagar. This is not even 10 kilometers outside the city. This is in the heart of Srinagar, in its most holiest of sanctums. Listen to this. And it's not just that. Also to your left, from just a few days ago, in fact, on one of the holiest days in the Muslim calendar, ISIS flags were flown outside this very mosque. And once again, Zakir Musa slogans were chanted. Viewers, the proof is for all to see, but politicians who have made their careers out of villainizing Hindutva and condemning those who chant Jai Shri Ram are totally silent today. Yes, totally silent. Not a word coming out from these individuals. And I am talking about the Mamata Banerjees. I am talking about the Rahul Gandhis. I am talking about the Sitaram Yechuris, the Mehbooba Muftis, and of course the Omar Abdullahs. You might recall how Rahul Gandhi had defined his mission as a war against those who chant Jai Shri Ram and spread Hindutva. He said these were divisive ideologies. I want to play out that reaction from Rahul Gandhi in the past, but today he's silent. Listen to this.
We are fighting an organization called the RSS that is trying to change the nature of India. See, there is no other organization in India that wants to capture India's institutions. When the Congress party comes to power, or the Samajwadi comes to power, or the BSP comes to power, or the DMK comes to power, they don't try to attack and capture India's institutions. What we're dealing with is a completely new idea.
Something blinds politicians like Rahul Gandhi to these other organizations who are working out of mosques in Kashmir. And I can tell you, viewers, that this is also happening in several other areas of this country, deep down south and in the main Hindi heartland. We have had raids in the past. You have seen the literature that has emerged. But somehow, the opposition doesn't want to recognize the reality of Islamist hate and Islamist radicalization. Why? Listen to Mamata Banerjee. She's yet another one of those. Listen to her. I want to open this out, viewers. I want to open this out and I want to ask some questions. What does the opposition and the lobby perceive as a greater threat? Jai Shri Ram slogans or a organization spewing hate from mosques in Kashmir? And I want to ask you today, Mr. Banerjee, why is Mamata silent? Why is the TMC silent? Why are some of your own ideological cousins in the Congress party silent? What do you think is the reason?
First of all, the supporting the Islamic terrorist groups or the ISI in Pakistan, the people who were arrested over the past few years, we had found that they were BJP workers in Madhya Pradesh. That had been covered widely in many leading newspapers, including the Times of India. There were multiple BJP so-called Karyakartas in the garb of nationalism. They were actually allegedly working for the ISI and hence working for these terrorists.
Mr. Iftikhar Misjair, is this acceptable to you, sir? And if it isn't, where is Mehbooba Mufti? Why isn't she coming out and taking out a march and saying this is unacceptable? Tell me.
Rahul, I just wanted to put it in a different way. It seems that you people are putting every Kashmiri, you are considering every Kashmiri as a terrorist.
क्या बात कर रहे हैं, sir?
Kashmiris are going to mosques.
What are you
for
saying?
prayers.
Is this?
What are you saying?
No,
what are you saying?
Kashmiris.
No, who is? Have I called you a
Kashmiris are going
terrorist,
to
sir?
mosques for prayers.
Have I called you a terrorist?
And if
have I called you a terrorist? You answer me.
Is it
1
a
minute.
guilty
Have
conscience?
I called you a terrorist, sir?
Today or tomorrow.
Have I called you a terrorist?
directly or
Have I
indirectly,
called Miss
every now
Mufti
and
a
then.
terrorist? No.
Directly or
I have said that
then why
Miss
you are
Mufti
more
and you,
bothered
sir,
about Mehbooba
have
Mufti and
double
Abdullah?
standards. You have a problem. You have a
What
problem,
is-
and
what is
rightly
the
so.
government at
When
this
Hindu
position is
radicals,
doing?
when
What
Hindu
is the-
radicals, sir, commit
no,
crimes,
in a-
but you don't apply the same yardstick, sir, to the snakes in your own backyard. And I'm asking you why. आप इतने बिके हुए हैं, सर. आपको इतनी वोट्स की नहीं, आपको इतनी वोट्स की लालच है. Are you so greedy for power that you will give up, sir, even your obligation towards your religion? I'm asking you this question.
The same question to Bharatiya Janata Party, who is at the dispensation. What, isn't it the failure?
Sir, can the Bharatiya Janata Party go into your mosque?
Failure of the
No, can the
government at
Bharatiya Janata
dispensation?
Party go into your mosque? Can the army go into your mosque?
Bharatiya Janata
No,
Party.
are you telling me,
Bharatiya
sir, that
Janata
all
Party-
these people can go into a mosque and
the
verify? It should be left to the
agenda what they
people.
sold,
Where are you?
the agenda what Bharatiya Janata Party sold during elections were that it is Pakistan.
So what about you?
So you want your army to go? You want the army to go into the mosque? You tell me. Do you want the army, Mr. Misjair, to go into the mosque? Iftikhar Sahab, मुझे बताइए. Would you want the army to go into the mosque? Sir, the army went into the Golden Temple and look at the backlash.
The root cause
Look
of
at the
problem
backlash,
you must
sir.
study.
Look at the backlash. Do you want the army to go into a mosque?
Can I come in?
General Bakshi. General Bakshi, please explain to this individual.
No,
The
one
Indian
second.
army, sir,
You're not
the Indian
letting me
army
speak.
is not a
See, I am not here to
ragtag
listen to
bunch of
lectures from
thugs.
you people.
They respect red
If you have-
lines. We don't go into people's
No,
mosques.
tell me, sir, one thing. Have you seen the funerals
Rahul-
of the militants? There are
Rahul,
lakhs
can I
of
please have my
people
say?
in the funerals of the militants. Why?
Rahul,
Because they are allowed in this
Have you
country.
ever-
This is
Kindly
the
allow
only
somebody
country in
else
the
to
world
speak.
where
You people are
dead
not bothered.
militants are
Can he
eulogized
kindly
by
allow
giving
somebody
birth
else
as
to
hello.
speak?
You should
You
be
people
ashamed
are-
of
He
it.
asked you
General
to
Bakshi
speak.
wants to
The
come in
anchor-
on this.
India
General
by
Bakshi wants to
one
come in.
slogan that
Iftikhar
is
Misjair,
Hindutva.
listen to the
Hindutva
army
is
man.
not
Can I
Listen to a
please come in?
patriot, sir, who has served this nation and is willing to die for this nation. Listen to him.
No, you have.
Listen to him, sir.
Look, Mr. Iftikhar,
If
a
Mr.
mosque
Bakshi is willing
is
to
a
die for
holy
the nation,
place.
why did he retire?
It is a place of worship. It is not a place for brandishing weapons, for storing arms and ammunition. It is not a place for preaching hatred. It is not a place for engendering, inciting communal violence and attacks on the minorities. Right? That is
Sir,
wrong.
tell me one thing. Can
And
a
if you
terrorist
call
walk
yourself
freely
a
in Delhi?
secular state,
Can
you
a
should be
terrorist
the
walk
first
freely
one
in Delhi?
to protest
Can
the
a terrorist
misuse
enter?
of our
Can
mosques,
a terrorist enter
of our religious
masjid or
institutions.
temple in
Religious
Delhi? No.
institutions are
Because
not supposed
here the
to be
here,
training ground
if you
for
if-
terror.
See, you have to see.
For God's sake, put a stop to it. Don't be an
you are not
ostrich.
reaching to the core
Don't
issue.
hide.
The core issue.
Don't
If the
be
center-
scared of
if the
speaking
cen-
the truth. A mosque is a place of worship. Leave it as a place of worship. Don't make it a den of terror.
Let me ask.
That is not being secular.
Okay,
You are
Dr. Patra is
misusing,
raising
you
his
are
hand. Dr.
exploiting
Patra, what's the
religion.
point you want to make?
Religious sentiments.
What's the point
to
Dr. Patra
promote
wants to make?
terror,
Dr. Patra, tell me. What
which
is the point you want to
not
make?
justified.
See, I was hearing Mr. Iftikhar. Mr. Iftikhar, in fact, in the din of matters, said that we have to go to the root cause, and the solution lies in the root cause. My question simply over here is the problem of Kashmir a political problem or a communal one, as was raised initially by General G.D. Bakshi? Had it been a political cause, what are political reasons? The root cause would have been development, lack of schools, lack of infrastructure, lack of electricity. Is this the problem? No. They are blowing off the schools. They are blowing off the electricity line. What is the problem? The problem is they want jihad. Jihad against whom? Jihad against India. They want to talk to Pakistan. What for? Even their mainstream politicians want to talk with Pakistan. What for? Pakistan is propagating terrorism in India, yet you want to talk to Pakistan. Why? This separatism, Mr. Ashutosh, you don't have to. Mr. Ashutosh, you don't have to speak for them. You don't have to speak for them, Mr. Ashutosh, from the rooftop. Everyone in this country knows the truth, and until you diagnose the problem, you're not going to solve the problem.
Can come and speak in the mosque.
Sir, आप क्या चाहते हैं? नहीं, आप क्या चाहते हैं, आशुतोष जी? What do you want? Do you want the army to go into the mosque?
We
No,
want
tell
the
me. What do you
government to be
want?
honest. We don't want the government to turn it into.
Sir, when there are people in the state, no, hang on. What about the state leadership? No, what about the state leadership, sir?
Is concerned. They don't know how to handle it, and every time something happens, they start blaming the opposition.
Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute. You see, this is the problem. हम अपने आप लड़ाई करते रहेंगे. We will keep fighting amongst ourselves, and the people who are going to take advantage of this rift, of this inability to close ranks, of this opposition's pettiness, are the terrorists out there. And I want to bring in Atikur Rahman. Atikur Rahman, tonight, isn't your heart, sir, bleeding after seeing the desecration of one of the holiest places of Islam on this subcontinent? Isn't your heart bleeding? As a pious Muslim, would you not want these people to vacate the mosques? Isn't your heart, sir, bleeding after seeing the desecration of
Rahul, if you remember, just last year, more than 1,000 ulamas from a large platform in India, they have, damned all the terrorist activities which are sponsored by Pakistan. None of the Indian Muslim organizations ever, they support either ISIS or whatever goes on in the name of religion in Jammu and Kashmir. But my question to the present government and Mr. Sambit Patra is, have the present government in the last 5 years ever tried, or even in the consecutive governments in the last 30 years tried, to bring in the rest of pan-Indian Muslims in coherence with the Jammu and Kashmir Muslims? Never. Only Lal Bahadur Shastri tried to equate the pan-India Muslims with the problem of Kashmiri Muslims. And at that point, in the United Nations, the Pakistani delegation had to run away from the conference saying Indian dogs go away. After that, Rahul, there was no serious effort. Now today, you want to blame the entire pan-India Muslims, to blame whatever goes on in Kashmir. How is that possible? We are helpless, Rahul. Today, the ulamas in pan-India or any of the Indian Muslim organizations, the government have never intended them to equate them with the problem of Kashmir. So now the question is, who will solve the problem? Who will tell the people of Kashmir that mosques are not to be utilized?
This is absolutely bunkum. I really need to answer this. I really need to answer this. Since this allegation is on the government, I want to come in over here.
Dr. Patra, respond.
I want to come in over here.
Dr. Patra,
Rahul,
respond.
it is astonishing. It is not only astonishing, but I'm shocked by the kind of proposition that has been given by Mr. Atikur Rahman. Mr. Atikur Rahman says that pan-India Muslims should in fact be integrated with the problems of the Muslims of Jammu and Kashmir. Since when have problems become religion-oriented? So if there is some problem in Jammu Hindus, we should integrate that with the Hindus of the rest of India. Why? Problem is a problem. It is for whole of India to solve it. It is not for Muslims or Hindus or Christians to solve a problem. I believe this is totally a bunkum talk and a shocking proposition by one of the so-called luminaries of Islam, Mr. Atikur Rahman. Why should the problem of Jammu and Kashmir be the problem of pan-India Muslims is my question.
Quick, Atikur Rahman, quick response.
Why should it be my problem also? Why should it not be my problem as well?
Just add a bit of information before Mr. Rahman responds.
Yeah.
Atikur Rahman ji.
Please, please.
Let me tell you a basic simple fact. I don't know how politicians would like to dress it up as a Hindu problem or a Muslim problem, but I know this for a fact that in Kashmir, in the mosques of the valley. Ever since Maulvis from Bihar, UP and rest of the North Indian places started going there, this radicalization has started. Kashmir's Islam was a completely different Islam. Iftikhar Misgar would bear me out. We had Durud Khani, we had Aitikadi Muslims. You haven't even heard of this in rest of India. But ever since Maulvis from radicalized mosques of Bihar and UP started going there, they infested the place with a pernicious, venomous ideology and interpretation of Islam, and that is one of the contributory factors to this state of Kashmir. Let me hear from you now.
Atikur Saab, jawab dijiye.
So Rahul, Sambit Patra ji, here is the answer. Now Pandit Saab is himself saying that only the religious people went to Kashmir, not the normal people, not the people of India, the pan-Indian Muslims.
Sir, आपको पता है there is an article called Article 370 and 35A.
Article 370.
नहीं, आपको मैं कुछ बताता हूँ sir, for your kind information. Maybe you're living in some cave somewhere. Let me tell you, there is something called Article 370 and Article 35A, which prevents the integration of Kashmir with the rest of this country. And those articles, sir, are guarded zealously by the Abdullahs, the Muftis, and several other Kashmiris. You can't go and live in Kashmir, my dear man. आपको चाहना भी हो, you cannot go, you cannot settle, you cannot become a bona fide subject of the state. मैं आपको जरा, मैं थोड़ी, I give you some background, sir. Please do some reading. Don't talk through your hat. Don't constantly talk through your hat. Don't try today to create a false equivalence. Don't try to draw, sir, parallels where none exist. It is the duty of every Indian citizen, cutting across every religion. If Hindus can stand up, sir, to radical Hindus, so can moderate Muslims stand up to radical Muslims, but they don't. Why? And secondly, sir, 1 minute. Stop shouting at me, sir. Calm down. Stop shouting at me. Where is this opposition? This great secular, so-called secular opposition today.
That's a start, Rahul.
They don't see the hate pouring out of these vessels. Sir, can you please? Can you stop ranting, sir? Can you stop ranting?
Can I just take 10 seconds by you?
Can you calm down?
10 seconds with your permission, Rahul? Just
Yes,
10 seconds.
very quickly. I have to move on. Some more breaking news coming in. Yes, Dr. Patra, very quickly.
Yeah, I'll be very quick. See, right now, Mr. Rahman said that, well, yes, the problems of Kashmiri Muslims have to be integrated with the problems of Muslims all over India. Now, had it been a political problem, an issue of development, school or electricity, it would have been the problem of people of Kashmir.
Yeah.
So, in fact, in this channel itself, Mr. Rahman has agreed to the fact that, well, this is the problem of Muslims alone. It is something related to Islam, and that's what we were all suggesting right from the very beginning.
Okay.
This has nothing to do politically. This has to do with communalism.
Okay, viewers, I'm just going to move on. Some breaking news coming in, but I just want to pose 3 questions for you to think about. And those 3 questions are, what explains the silence of the opposition when the Lashkar-e-Toiba is employing the same methods used by the Hizbul Mujahideen in 89 and 90 to drive out Hindus and Sikhs from the valley? Number 1, viewers. Number 2, hasn't the radio silence of the opposition exposed their hypocrisy on the basic principle of tolerance and secularism? And lastly, will the opposition continue to appease Islamist hate even though the video shows it poses a danger to the secular fabric of this country? These are the questions, viewers, you must begin to think about, and you must ask of these opposition leaders the next time they talk about secularism. Corner them on their selectivity. And I want to move on